look like, man? You know who this is, brother man from the motherland, coming to you guys live. Hey yo, headed to the plantation. Well, not a plantation. I'm heading to a work site. I'm gonna knock this out, and then I'm gonna come home. Well, damn, I can't even do nothing today because I gotta go. My nephew's having a party, and then my homie, my brother's best friend, my older brother's best friend, is having something around the way. And yeah, definitely gonna go pull up to that. You know what I'm saying? It's a 90s theme, and you know, it's only right that we come outside, right? You know, I told you guys earlier that I will be coming on, you know, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yesterday was Friday. I was unable to come on due to the fact I was having a dialogue with a brother. I forgot his name. He's a boxer named Blackwell. I offered an invite to come on this podcast and share light on his supposed understanding of we being, you know, the Hebrews, and how the Hebrews, you know, made his way to West Africa after fleeing Israel at whatever time. Now, there was a lot of back and forth as far as, you know, his information, my information. And one thing that he said to me that, you know, it still stuck out to me. He stated that his people, or some people in Kenya, still carry the body of Moses in real time. They have the actual bodies of Moses. Now, for me, being the man that I am, doing the studies that doing the studies that I have done over the years, it's very hard for me to hear that and say, well, you know, it might be right. Like for somebody that never, you know, understood history, never, you know, went down the archives, it will be more suited for them. But when he told me that, you know, my next question was simple. Okay, so if you guys still got the actual bodies of Moses, and oh no, not just that, he said they got the bodies of Moses and the Ark of the Covenant. So I said, if you guys got the body of Moses and the Ark of the Covenant, that means you guys also should have access to the tablets, to the stones that Moses wrote on. Because according to the scriptures, right, them stones was with him till the beginning and to the very end of his life. So you should have access to these, you know, these artifacts. And, you know, I kept asking, and he didn't give me the answer. I'm not gonna, you know, try to discredit the brother's information, because it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. You understand? But it's also more interesting when I ask the questions that I know can't be answered. So the next question was like, okay, so if you're saying, you understand, that you guys carry the body of Moses and got the Ark of the Covenant, why isn't the Ark of the Covenant being unleashed so people can be set free? Because according to the writings and the doctrine that you guys provide, the doctrine states that the Ark of the Covenant is a power from God. And when you unleashes it, you understand, it devours every and anything that stands in your way. So if you guys carry this Ark, then why hasn't the Ark been unleashed? It's not, he couldn't give me the answer. Okay, cool. So if the Ark can be unleashed, then is it a possibility that you guys really don't have the Ark? I was asking those questions. And again, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to invite the brother on my show. I want you guys to tune in. I want you guys to ask all your questions. All your questions. I'm just telling you the question that I asked personally, trying to understand exactly where this brother is taking me. And where he took me is the same direction the Hebrew Israelites took me. Okay? The only difference is the Hebrew Israelites claim that, you know, we dispersed from Israel, then we went here, there, and then we end up in America. The brother's telling me that, you know, the people never left. You understand? That we left Israel and went to America, and here we are in 2025. I find it hard to believe that. So I said, okay. He also stated that he could trace his lineage back to the tribe of Gad. He said he could trace his lineage back to the tribe of Gad. I said, okay, cool. So where's the other 11 brothers? How can I find them? How can I find the 11 other brothers? Couldn't give me an answer. And again, you know, one thing I realized about this religion thing, when you're not in agreement or have understanding into the ideologies that they're bringing forth, the first thing that they like to tell you is that you unlearned. And I had to let the brother know, like, I'm beyond learned, my brother. I used to teach what you're telling me in every aspect, from West Africa, South Africa, to Israel, to the black people being the Hebrew Israelites. I did all of that. And yet here I am in 2025, still unconvinced into the doctrine, into the philosophy that you bringing forth. And this is no disrespect, you understand? But we gotta call a spade, bro. The information is just not enough. It does not prove that you guys, that the story of the Bible is associated with us. He told me that, you know, the Jews are speaking modern day Hebrew. I'm telling him the whole Hebrew dialect is their dialect, bro. The modern Phoenician, Poquican is their dialect, bro. I was in the library Tuesday, guys. Tuesday, I was in the library. I picked up a Hebrew book. Bro, I didn't even know where to flip the pages, my guys. I didn't even know where to flip the pages because I was like, oh, okay, is it upside down? Is it left? Is it right? How do I understand this? How? Now, I'm saying that language right there. Can you provide me any information to show that we are the people? Because if you understand your language, you must understand this language as well. And he stated that he do. He said, yeah, I understand that. I was like, you can read it, write it, and speak it fluently, people. There's a difference between saying shakma, akbar, akabata. There's a difference to saying that and having a full dialect. I mean, like, hey, how you doing? You know, everything is good. My children is good. My family is good. All of that being told in Hebrew, it's a big difference. So I asked him, are you able to provide that type of intel? He said, yeah. And then he sent me a video. The brother sent me a video of him praying. I said, my brother, I could do the Hebrew credo too. Shemaya, Shorala, Ahaya, Alahaya. Now I could do that too. That's not enough. I'm talking full-fledged, fluent speaking Hebrew. I don't want to hear ancient Phoenician. Who's telling you it's ancient? Who's telling you it's Phoenician? Are you gathering your information from the people that you're claiming to be the imposters? That does not make sense. That is an oxymoron, bro. I do not live off oxymoron. That sounds like a drug. Oh. Wow, my joint fell, guys. I do not subscribe to oxymorons. That sounds like a pill, a hypnosis pill. And I don't subscribe to that. I'm drug free. You understand? You have to provide some level of information to prove what you're telling me. And I need archaeological. So he said that he can trace his lineage back to Gad. I said, okay, in order for me to believe that, because everybody got their own their own P's and Q's to what they need to believe something. I said, for somebody that's been doing these studies for so long, in order for you to make me believe what you're telling me, you have to show me an actual body of God, the original God. Because if you got the body of Moses, you should have the body of God. You should be able to pinpoint where every single, I repeat, every single character of the Bible was buried. Their burial sites. I asked them about the Exodus. I said, so since we're talking about the story of Moses, can you provide the story of the Exodus story? He really believes that I think that I'm talking about these Jewish people. I'm not talking about that. I'm referring to you providing me the information, showing me the exact location and where the so-called Israelites, the so-called Hebrews, was marching and walking for 40 years, 40, not 2, not 3, 40 years. You have to provide me information to show me our people walking 40 years. And within those 40 years, according to the scriptures, it said that it kept going around, round and round until every single person died off. And then the children was the one that went in. Okay, so where can I find the actual burial sites of those people that walked around for 40 years? He said, what did he tell me? I don't even think he gave me an answer to that, because he kept going around and round. And again, I'm going to invite this brother on the show. I want you guys to have all y'all questions ready. I don't care if you black, white. I don't care if you Chinese, Mexican. I don't care if you are Muslim, Christian, German. I don't care what you are. I want you guys to ask these questions, because for me as a black man, these questions are needed, because this knowledge, this doctrine is literally got us docile to the point where we're not making any elevations. I also asked him, I said, so my brother, everything that you're telling me, it sounds like it's post-colonialism, right? We've been colonized in Africa since the 1400s. Let me say that again. We've been colonized in Africa since the 1400s. That's a lot of time to reconvert the minds of the people. Now, I also asked my brother, explain to me how come the Bible does not give legitimate information of the future of the Benin Kingdom or the Kingdom of Zimbabwe. You know, why isn't Ogun? Because the people don't know these gods that you're referring to. Explain to me Ogun. Explain to me Oshe. Explain to me Ulamari. You got to explain that to me. The brother was unable to explain that to me. And there's a lot. And we was going on. We was literally going back and forth on IG until like 1 o'clock. There's a lot of information that I didn't even finish reading. When I get to my site and I get downtime, I'm going to finish reading and listening to the voice notes, because I want to know exactly what this brother is trying to bring forth. And if this information is true, right? If this information is true, how does it tie in with us as people? How does it tie into our redemption? How does it tie into our salvation? How does it tie in to our, freedom from this system, from this European satanic infrastructure? How does it tie in? And I also tell him, I said, you saying that they got the actual bodies in Kenya of Moses, but the people in Kenya still answering to the European countries. Okay, you're bringing up the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference is true. I totally agree with the Berlin Conference. But you are not providing me with enough information to show that we have a spiritual power connection to this God of the Biblos, that if we connect back to it in its full totality, we can be set free. Again, you guys saying that you guys got the Ark of the Covenant. Why isn't the Ark of the Covenant being used to unleash, to take down the people that's having black people in captivity? Still waiting for that answer, guys. I'm still waiting for that answer, guys. I'm still waiting for that answer, guys. You have to let me, you have to show me archaeological evidence. At this point right now, in 2025, you guys got to show me actual archaeological evidence. I do not want the he say, she say fugazi. I am a grown ass man, bro. I'm not a child, bro. Even your own book tells you when you was a child, you thought of a child. When you became a man, you put away childish things. I'm a grown man, sir. You have to provide me with more information. That is not enough. That is not enough to deteriorate me from my African spirituality, seeking my African spirituality to denounce it and base it off of ideology that was given unto me, that we all know historically was given unto me by the oppressors. It's completely asinine. You cannot, it's not enough. And you know, when I hear you're unlearned, that's what I take as, oh yeah, because I'm not believing into what you're saying, you're telling me that I'm unlearned. I'm beyond learned. I'm beyond learned. Like I told him, I said, yo, bro, every information that you're telling me, I taught that same thing. I taught what you're telling me. That's not enough. Now, the concept of, oh, hold on. He also said that the Levites was the Sashu people, bro. I said the Levites was the Sashu people and they was Egyptians. I said, oh, whoa. You have to provide the information for that, bro. You're telling me the Levites are the Sashu people. So if the Levites are the Sashu people, then who are the Haitians? According to you, he told me that the 12 tribe chart is incorrect, and that I totally agree with. I totally agree. That 12 tribe chart is as false as Stevie Wonder telling you he's blind. Yeah. Yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Montana, what's up, my brother? What's up? Listen, man, I'm just giving you a rundown. I had a conversation with a brother that's claiming that we are the Hebrews and that the story of the Bible takes place in West Africa, and he's able to provide these proofs. The brother also told me that his people have the actual remains of Moses. That's a very bold claim. I said, so if you guys got the actual body of Moses, then you guys got the actual templates. You guys got the actual commandments. You guys got to have all of that. You can't just tell me you got the body of Moses and don't have the number one thing that made Moses who he is. I need the templates, the commandments. I also need that staff. And then I asked her, where's Aaron? So you guys got Moses, but you don't got Aaron. You guys got Moses, but you don't got Aaron. You don't got Joshua. There's no other characters in the Bible that you guys got. You understand? I'm trying to understand where this brother's coming from, because it does not make sense. It does not add up. Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't come on live yesterday. You know, I told you guys Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm going to make it my business to do a live for you. I was literally setting up until the sister, I posted something on IG. Let me just give you guys a little backstory, right? I'm posting something on IG, right? And on IG, I was basically giving the claims that you can't find a single black person that speaks fluent Hebrew. A sister came on my page and commented it and said, yes, we do. Yes, I can show you. I said, okay, cool. Now, bring me to the source. So she ended up connecting with the source. We end up having a conversation. Now, off the gate, what the brother was telling me, it was, that don't sound accurate, but okay, I'm gonna let you speak, right? And I didn't tell him that I knew the information that I knew. I didn't say nothing. I was just basically being a student, gathering like a sponge, taking in all this intel that he's bringing, right? And again, after a while, you know, he kept saying, you unlearned, my brother, you unlearned. You know, and for me, when I hear that, it's like, yo, bro, nah, we're not doing that. Because, all right, so let me just give you a background on who I am. So I gave him the background on who I am. So now the conversation got to be a lot different. The conversation got to be, okay, so you're claiming that we're this. You're claiming that we have that. The brother also claimed to have the Ark of the Covenant. So I said, if you got the Ark of the Covenant, bro, then that means you have the power. You have the power to unleash the Ark and allow the Ark, the covenant of the Ark, to take down this so-called infrastructure that is destroying the very land that you're claiming to be the Holy Land. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that response. And like I said, he gave me a whole 12-page Leah note. You understand? That I didn't get a chance to listen to because I got tired. I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, bro, I gotta go to bed, man. I gotta go to the plantation in the morning, in the AM, excuse me. And I can't listen to all this, bro. But I'm gonna listen. As soon as I get my downtime, I am going to listen. Because I really wanna know exactly what this brother is trying to include. Where does this, where does this conclude to? Like, it does not make sense. It has no validity behind it. Like, bro, so then I asked him, I said, so the Hebrew that these people are speaking and writing, they have to have gotten it from somewhere. He said, yeah, they got it from us. I said, okay, so are you able to provide the intel to show that these people got it from us? Meaning, these people had to write it from somewhere. And if you're able to have the body of Moses, the Ark of the Covenant, then you must also have the actual scriptures. The brother told me, nah, it's the word of mouth. I said, what? I said, yeah, it's through language. So I asked, I said, so you mean to tell me that these people was in people's mouths, pause, that was nasty work, gaining information of who we are? That does not make sense, sir. That does not make sense. Can you show me documentations, bro? Can you show me documentations? Because what you're telling me sounds post-colonization, because it does not add up to the African story. It does not add up to the Benin kingdom. It doesn't add up. It does not add up to the kingdom of Zimbabwe. There was the Ghana kingdom. All of these things does not add up. You telling me that the body is with a particular group of people that are literally somewhere in the mountains somewhere. I'm like, sir, that does not make sense, my brother. I appreciate what you're saying, but it's not enough. So I'm gonna bring an invite. I'm gonna send an invite to this brother. I'm gonna have him come on the show, and I'm gonna let him come on the show, and I want him to bring forth this information. Like, yeah, you gotta bring forth this information to the people. And I want you guys to have all y'all questions ready. You understand? I want you guys to have everything ready.
Wait, welcome. Good morning, by the way.
I usually park right here.
Okay, no. Park on the other side of the black Tesla. Not the first two spots, on the other side of it.
Next to this blue one right here?
Is this blue? Yeah, on the other side of it, right there. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, like the fifth spot in.
All right, gotcha.
But just not the first two.
Gotcha. You understand? Like you have to provide me with some documented information, archaeological information. Yo, when I heard that, I was like, yo, bro, that is such a bold statement to say that you guys got the actual body of Moses. That's a very strong claim, bro. A very strong claim that, like, till this, like, me just hearing that, You know what I'm saying? And then I also told him, I said, yo, bro, check this out, right? Even the Abraham story, the Abraham story does not even go back to to the Israelites, to the Biblos. You know, you can trace this back to the Sumerians. You can trace this back to the Hindus. This is way before the Bible was put together. And he agreed. He was like, yeah. So I was like, so even with the Moses story, you guys are saying that the Moses story is, you're saying that the Moses story is an actual story. I said, that they have an actual version that predates the Bible story of Moses, of a man. His name was Syrian Mist. I have all this documented information. And I told them, I said, yo, bro, I'm going to let you bring forth your piece, but I do have the actual information. So it's not gonna be as easy to persuade me the way that you think. You really gonna have to go deep into your archives to prove to me that we are the descendants of this so-called people of the Bible. And again, you have to provide some level of DNA. I can't, listen, I'm not gonna base an understanding solely off the words. Then he showed me a video of Jewish people taking DNA of a particular group of people, and they saying that they have the Y chromosome. I'm saying, my brother, the Jewish people also claim to have the Y chromosome as well. So if the Jewish people claim to have the Y chromosome and they're not the real people, and you claim to have the Y chromosome, then there's a high possibility that you don't even know what your DNA is. You're basing your DNA understanding off the ideologies of what they're telling you. Hold on a minute. Hold on. My bad, guys. The office was calling in. So yeah. So now, as far as the Bible, I said, so you can trace yourself back to he says the Gad and the Dan people. I said, okay. So where is the Judah? Where is the Levites? He said the Levites are the Sashu people, And then he said that, we was worshiping Yahweh. I said, are you serious, bro? He was like, Yahweh is not the supreme God. I say, yes, I know. That's the storm god. I know that. But explain to me, how come you're telling me one thing, but in Africa, we're calling on Ogun, Oshe, Ulamari. These are African deities. How come these deities are not in the scriptures? How come you guys are not following? Again, like I said to the brother, it sounds like you're bringing forth post-colonized doctrine, meaning after you was colonized, you was then given an ideology to follow and teach. And through that following and teaching, you understand, through that following and teachings, you now have believed in yourself to be a certain story that we all know that was given unto you. You have to provide information. That's all I'm saying, guys. It's just, like I said, I'm gonna bring the brother on. When I have downtime, I'm gonna listen to what this brother is telling me, and we're going to take it from there. Until then, listen, man. All right. So Cal, that's what I was dealing with yesterday. That's why I couldn't come on with the live. We literally was going back and forth for like 3 hours. You understand? From I believe like 9:30 to like 1 o'clock, bro. Like literally back and forth. He's bringing forth information. I'm asking questions. I'm saying, okay, so you're saying this. So, okay, explain that. Okay, this. Okay, explain that. And again, you know, and this is coming from a brother that taught this. And Cal, you know this. This is coming from somebody that taught this. All it was doing was going round and round in circles. I told him, I said, my brother, I need you to navigate me to the actual source. I need you to navigate me to the actual source, right? I do not want videos. I do not want, you know, perceptions and commentary from Jewish people. I need you to navigate me to the actual source. I need you to show me where Africa, because when I go out there, because of what you're telling me, I'm going there. And I need you to show me the actual source where the covenant is. I need you to show me where the body of Moses is. You have to provide me with this information. And if you're not able to provide me with this information, then that means the doctrine and the ideologies that you're bringing forth is false, bro. Because you're already false when you told me that we came from the Middle East. The Middle East. And this is no disrespect to my Jews. This is no disrespect to my Palestinians. This is no disrespect to anybody. You understand? Yo, Cal, take this brother off. This is no disrespect to anybody. You understand? But the Middle East was called dirt land. If you look at the Middle East right now, if you take away all the buildings that they built, it's literally dirt land. Like literally, you see all the debris. You don't see no trees. You don't see nothing. It doesn't have anything. And especially if it ties in with the scriptures. Especially when it ties in with the scriptures. Because according to the scriptures, it's a land filled with milk and honey. There's no milk. There's no honey. There's no trees. You guys don't even know majority of the stuff that you see, the agriculture that you see was bought, taken from other countries, put there, like literally planted there and was created. Like literally. Dubai is the prime example. They had to bring water from other areas to put it there. These things are not... These things are not for real, man. And let me not say not for real. These things can be proven. Not by the brother. The brother got to provide me with more information. I need to sit down with the elders. I need to sit down with the people of all that's able to provide some level of information to justify these claims. We're not, and like I told him, my brother, I don't stand on belief. I'm beyond that. I don't stand on belief. You have to provide me with facts. You made a bold claim that you guys got the actual body of Moses, the remains. I need to see that. And if you are unable to, let us connect. And when I go to Africa, navigate me over there. Simple. Simple. Because according to my studies, the story of Moses never even happened. According to the information I have, the story of Moses never even happened. People that has not been colonized, if you go to areas in Africa where people are not colonized, you will see that people have no recollection of Moses, Jesus. Oh, speaking of Jesus, let's talk about the Jesus. So, he said Jesus' name is Yisei, and that the King Jeroboam was the king of the south. He was unalive, and the people, the southern kingdom, was in complete turmoil. They was going crazy, and this man called Ise, I don't know the name. They just call it what it is. They said this man Jesus was the person that they anointed to be the savior of the people. So basically, they chose him to be the king. This is what the brother's telling me, guys. Now, And he also said that the writings was stolen by these people and that they created their own version, etc., etc. He was saying a lot of things, man. It's just so overwhelming, and it's like, yo, bro, I hear what you're saying, and man. If I let me show you something. Check this out, just so you guys know that I'm not lying to y'all, right? So this is me and the brother. As you guys can see, there's voice notes that I didn't even finish reading. Okay? You see he's sending me videos. You understand? And like I told the brother, I said, my brother, the videos is not enough. Yo, bro, he's not even claiming to be a Christian, my brother. This man is claiming to be the actual descendants of the people of the Bible, bro. He's claiming to be the actual descendants. My brother's claiming to be, he's telling me he can trace his lineage back to the tribe of Gad. I said, yeah, bro. This is not even about Christian. This is not about Judaism. This is a brother claiming to be the actual descendants of the children of the Bible, bro. He also told me that Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham are not even related, bro. Like I said, I have to bring the brother on the show so you guys can hear what he has to say. I'm going to put the questions together. I'm going to make sure I'm going to sit down, put all these questions together, and I'm going to ask away. And before we even go, I'm going to let him know. I said, my brother, are you able to provide straight facts? That's what I'm going. Yo, bro, this is where we're going, because this is absurd. The bold claim that he could trace himself back to the tribe of Gad, and that Dan is the Dahomey people are the children of Gad. So I said, okay, so if they're the children of Gad, then what are the people that's in Benin? There's a whole what tribe are the Cameroons? What tribe? And they don't even call tribe; they call clans. And like I told them, I say, yo, bro, you know I speak to people in Africa, right? You know, the TikTok is a very powerful thing. You get to speak to people that's actually there in real time. So when you bring forth such ideology, such claims, you know I'm gonna take it back to them. Like, yo, is this for real? Is this accurate? You know I got African friends right here. El Kibulan comrades right here, right now. I'm gonna bring these things, I'm gonna bring these discussions to them, bro. And no, I don't seek anybody that claim any Abrahamic religion. I already know that your mind has been colonized. I need to speak to those that literally can trace their lineage back 5,000 years, because there's customs and practice that goes back to Africa 5,000 years. That predates Christianity, that predates colonialism. Those are the people that you see living in the woods and stuff like that. These are the people that I need to speak to. I can't speak to brothers and sisters that, you know, dress down in outfits that's similar to the philosophies of these Jewish people. You can't claim something and you can't provide me the original information. Because from what I seen, like I told the brother, I said, from what you're telling me, bro, not only does it look like it's post-colonialism, but it also looks like you're copying and pasting what they're telling you. You're not providing me with pure authenticity. If I'm saying the word right. This is not the organic version, bro. You sound like this is a repackaged information. It's not enough. It's not. And that's my time, guys. It's 8:35, man. But we're gonna be on. I'm gonna continue on. Like I said, I'm gonna finish listening to what the brother's telling me, And then I'm going to invite the brother to the show. I want the brother to provide me with all the factual information. Because like I told him, my podcast is facts over beliefs, bro. Only the facts is going to set us free. You want me to believe that the Biblos is our story? You have to provide the facts. No videos, no, none of that. I need the facts. I need DNA. I need facts. I'm tired of this Ron Dalton, philosophy approach. Oh, look, man, the Jewish people said something. No, that's not enough. You're telling me that I'm got to gain the information from those that invested into your enslavement? That's an oxymoron. No, I need to speak to the people because only the people shall know, right? Especially if you're claiming that they stole it from you. Because even in the video that he played, it does not show any proof that they took it from you. The commentary sounds like, they came into your land and you guys are just doing the same thing. It sounds like, oh, so they're practicing our customs. Wow, that's interesting. It does not sound like, oh, this is the original and I couldn't believe. It doesn't sound like that, bro. It doesn't. And with that being said, guys, it's your brother, man. Nothing but love. I appreciate it. Cal, shout out to you. When my moderators come on, it's always a blessing. You see the man putting out foolishness. Like, yeah, I'm sick and tired of that. All right. So stay in tune. Be prepared. I will be doing a live tomorrow. I can't do it today. I got my nephew and I got my brother's right-hand man I'm gathering to go through. So it is what it is. I'ma holler at y'all. Peace.